Defeats in Game 1 sees Wesley College and St. Joseph's College staring down the barrel, knowing that any more defeats could cost them their title hopes. Hello and welcome to www.thepapare.com, and you are tuned in live as Wesley College takes on St. Joseph's College here at the Royal Complex. Plenty at stake for both sides as the teams clash in week 2 of the Dialog Schools Rugby League, and a lot of hopes resting on the shoulders of the lads as the weather here at Royal Complex, the sun is beating down and underfoot conditions look solid as a little bit of a wind is there as we see the flags just swirling a bit, but all in all it looks to be a lush green day and a good day for rugby. Last week's results saw St. Joseph's, Science College, Royal College, Wesley, Trinity and Kingswood lose their opener. St. Joseph's of course went down to St. Anthony's at Bogambara, while Science College also saw the same fate. St. Peter's of course managed to get over the line against Royal College in what was a thriller, while St. Thomas's College as well managed to defeat Wesley College, who are taking on St. Joseph's this weekend. Trinity of course was the surprise, well, one of the surprises that saw defeat to Dharmaraja, and the Green Machine started off their campaign with a thumping win over Kingswood College. Nothing much to say as we look at the points table. It's still taking shape as the winners of the first week, 3 winners in fact, are leading the way, with Isipatana, the Green Machine, of course, seated on top pretty with 32 points for them. St. Anthony's, St. Thomas's are in 2nd and 3rd place, while the teams that faced defeat are at 4, 5, 6, and DS Senanayaka, who received a bye in week 1, are yet to get off the mark. The other side of the group, of course, Group 2A sees Vidyartha, Dharmaraja and St. Peter's sit at 1, 2, 3, while heavyweights Trinity and Royal faced 2 surprise defeats and they are in 4th and 5th place, while Science College rounds off the 6th position, and Zahira College, the team that received a bye from that end of the group, are yet to get off the mark. Week 2 fixtures, of course, the fixtures that are being played today sees St. Anthony's host DS, St. Thomas's host Isipatana, Dharmaraja host Zahira, and Science College host Royal College. Well, a few crackers lined up as I have Abdullah Yusuf with me in the commentary box. Abdullah, what do you expect here at the Royal Complex?
Yes, good evening, Romario. Yes, I think that lineup will whet the appetite of any rugby lover if you are in Sri Lanka. But what we have on hand today at the Royal College Sports Complex is 2 teams who went down in their first matches and will definitely look to make amends in today's encounter. Probably have to say the Josephians are probably slight favorites given their experience, but you can never discount the Wesley lads. Very strong support base they have with them. You can see the crowd slowly building up at the Royal College Sports Complex. Currently the under-16 fixture between both these schools is taking place, and overall I think we are in for a really entertaining game of rugby today.
Yes indeed, nothing but a win will help the 2 sides' cause as they push towards the Dialog Schools Rugby League 2023. We will go in for a short commercial break, be back with team cards and kick off just around the corner.
Cheese රසට යාළුව සෙට් එක ස්මයිලි බෙදනවා ඕන වෙලාවක ස්නැක් එක දැක්කම හිත ෆික්ස් වෙනවා සරද කැමති අය දවස පුරාවට සැරයිල්ලනවා කැලිප්සෝ මික්ස් එක ඕන වෙලාවක නැගලම යනවා බෝරින් ලයිෆ් එක බ්‍රේක් අප් කරගෙන සල්සා නටනවා ලුණු රටාවට අනියන් කික් එක ෆුල් හැපනින් වෙනවා අචි රටටම රස බෙදෙන මංජි රස බලකාය දැන් අලුත් වෙලා.
Hey, have you heard about Z?
ZZ. WeKYC.
Easy.
Mobile banking. Crazy.
Education loans and salary advances.
Amazing. Introducing the Digital Youth Account. NDBZ. NDBZ from NDB Bank. The future is banking on us.
ඕගොල්ලොත් එන්නේ ඉවෙන්ට් එකට. ඩ්‍රෙස් කෝඩ් එක black.
Black? No problem. නව වැඩි දියුණු කළ ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් ඇක්ටිව් ක්ලිම්බසෝල් පළමු සේදීමෙන්ම ඉස්සොරි ඉවත් කරයි. ස්වභාවික සාරයන් හිස පෝෂණය කරයි. නටමුද?
No problem.
හැමදාම ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් නම් හැමදාම no problem. ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් හිස නිදහසේ ඉදිරියට.
Colombo, beautiful outside and inside.
ඕනම දෙයක් කරන්න විදියක් තියෙනවා. ඒ තමයි තමන්ගේ විදිය. ජීවිතය අත්විඳින්න ආත්ම විශ්වාසයෙන් නැගී සිටින්න. බෝල්ඩ් ඔපම වෙන්න.
Colombo, beautiful outside and inside.
ඕනම දෙයක් කරන්න විදියක් තියෙනවා. ඒ තමයි තමන්ගේ විදිය. ජීවිතය අත්විඳින්න ආත්ම විශ්වාසයෙන් නැගී සිටින්න. බෝල්ඩ් ඔපම වෙන්න.
Hey, have you heard about Z?
ZZ. WeKYC.
Easy.
Mobile banking. Crazy.
Education loans and salary advances.
Amazing. Introducing the Digital Youth Account. NDBZ. NDBZ from NDB Bank. The future is banking on us.
Your embrace so warm with one more bite of Revelo for sunshine. Don't wanna miss this pouring rain, pleasing my soul with one more bite of Revelo for the rain. This freedom takes me north that I have never been. With one more bite of Revelo for the road. Love never felt this good. With one more bite of Revelo for love.
Enjoy the infinite possibilities of the freedom of space, inspired by the beauty of our land. Sri Lanka's finest finished, largest sized porcelain tile collection. Majestica. Lanka Tiles. Fine living redefined.
Colombo, beautiful outside and inside.
We we are moments away from kickoff here at the Royal Complex as the youngsters line up with the flags to welcome the teams. As we have the team cards as well for you to run through. And it'll first be St. Joseph's College, of course, with 3 changes to their lineup. One in the forward as Jehan Atukorala, and Chamod Seneviratna is partnered with the incoming prop forward to round off the front 3. Ishan D'Souza and Nithik Rodrigo in the lock positions. Janit Marasinghe, Ayesh Lanka and Vishika Fernando finds themselves in the back row as they round off the front 8. It'll be Vihanga Randeepa and Randika Dahamjaya at the 9 and 10 positions. Shanuka Alahakon, Tarusha Jayasuriya and Senutu Aaron will be the 2 wingers and the fullback with skipper Naveen Marasinghe and experienced Ruchita Rodrigo in the centres.
Yes, from Wesley's point of view, they will definitely want to bounce back after last week's defeat at the hands of the Thomians. The team makes up of Kavish Jaman, Abdullah Siddiq and Sabit Mushin will be the front row. Sandro Gamage, Thala Anas are the second rows, while the third row will comprise of Wahid Hussain, Shem Mendis and Chamod Nimsara. We'll have a new scrum half for this game. Adib Yusuf has come in and he'll partner up with Darren De Silva, while Raban and Correa will make up, Raban will be the left winger, while Correa and Rodrigo will be the center combination, and De Silva and Kaiser Lyle will complete the back 3. The replacements will be Gamman Pila, Shafraz, Tabit, Daura, Saleh, Jaya, Nizam and Pires. So we're just waiting the arrival of the Wesley lads. The Josephians are already on the ground and in their pre-game huddle. You can hear the crackers going off in the background. I'm sure those crackers which are off the field, we can expect some good entertaining rugby on the field as well, Romario.
Yes, indeed. We are surely in for some fireworks on the field as Wesley College make their way out of under the flag. And I'm sure both teams will be eyeing to get off the mark and get off the mark with a positive result.
There's an interesting change in the Josephian lineup, rather positional change, isn't it? Their skipper and trump card, Marasinghe, moving from his regular number 8 position to the first center position. What are your thoughts on that, Romario, and what do you think the thinking behind that is?
Yes, indeed. I think the coaching staff are looking to add some weight into their back line and some straight running. Did not work last weekend up at Bogambara, but I'm sure they would have looked and analyzed, and they must be coming in with something up their sleeve this week as well. And hopefully, and if you're a Josephian supporter, hopefully they will surely have something up their sleeve to get over the line against Wesley College.
And those are the match officials for today. Callum Sandruwan will do the referee duties, and he will be supported by Harshana Vijayveera, and the other assistant referee will try and get his name for you in a bit.
Yeah, in fact, there was a bit of a mistake there. It's Ishanka who will be the man in charge. Nalin Lasanta and Tilina Jayalat will be assisting him from the touchlines. Apologies for that. So it'll be Wesley College to kick things off here at the Royal Complex. We are moments away from kickoff.
So it'll be Wesley to kick off. It'll be their fly half, De Silva, who will start off proceedings.
I'm sure the Wesley College lads too and the coaching staff would have changed things up a bit Not too many name changes on the team sheet, but they have changed 2 players into vital positions as De Silva prepares to kick things off. A deep kick coming in to the Josephian 22 as it's fielded by Ruchita Rodrigo, and he returns the favor straight away. Collected by the number 8, and this is the new fullback coming in for Wesley College. Runs the ball straight and hard, sets things up close to the 10-meter line, but a good counter-ruck coming in, and straight away penalty for St. Joseph's College as a hand goes into the ruck.
Yes, well, you'd have to say that that penalty was on the Wesley scrum half. He needed to be there on the spot to release that ball, because from what we can see thus far, just by looking at both the teams side by side, Romario, is that the Josephians definitely have a big physical advantage. So the Wesley lads need to ensure that they do speed up the game as much as possible. They can't be slowing the game down at the breakdown, because Wesley will definitely pile in their big forwards there to put pressure, just like what happened on that occasion.
Yes, indeed. Unfortunately for the number 9, he wasn't in his position as his team pays the price with a penalty. And now Rodrigo with an opportunity to open the scoring.
This is a long-range kick, about 47 meters. Let's see whether he has the legs and the direction. Strikes it relatively well. And it's over. That was a pretty effortless effort, isn't it, Romario? We do realize that he is kicking with the wind, but nonetheless, it was a beautiful strike, and he definitely had much more in him. So a real moral booster for the Josephians first up.
Yes, indeed. Did not sweat too much as he punted it over the crossbar and opens the scoring for St. Joseph's College as De Silva kicks straight away. Same position, fielded yet again by the kicker for St. Joseph's College. And he returns the favor, puts it straight away into touch. Good exit strategy. I'm sure this is what the coaches would have been talking about after last week's debacle up at Bogambara. And now St. Joseph's College in the opposition half.
Yes, that was a good solid clearance from their own 22. Right back in the Wesleyites half.
For most of the school teams, that their exits have not been on point, and a lot of them go to sleep after scoring points. But now Wesley College through their fly half collects the ball and runs straight. Threw a bit of a dummy, but no one bought it as Wesley College gives it out to their line. Center Rodrigo takes it in, and now with the big forwards, they keep it up and rumble it forward as Yosef looks for an option and finds it in the way of Hossein, their number 6, as he takes the ball up, but he's held up for a while, and looks like a maul has been formed. Yes, indeed, the maul has been formed by the Josephian defenders, and they somehow secure the turnover through a scrum.
Yes, that's really good defensive work by the Josephians. Again, Wesley guilty of taking the ball into contact. They have to keep in mind that if they are going to get into this physical battle, they are going to come out second best, because I just don't think they have the physicality to compete with the Josephians. So just got to keep in mind to keep the ball away from contact as far as possible. Because if they go and continue to do this in this game, they're just going to turn possession over.
Yes, indeed, size-wise as well, it's clearly evident that the Josephians are a step ahead in that factor. And as you saw, a result, the next best one from a turnover is that scrum, as here goes Vihanga Randipa. Gives it off to Navin Marasinghe, but is brought down with a good tackle by the number 12 Korea, as the Josephians take up the ball through the big forwards. Now the fly half gives it out to the second row, but he's thumped and pushed back. St. Joseph's College somehow managing to secure possession. Randeep gives it out to his fly half as he stands and shovels it away. The Hamje that was. Now the big prop forwards doing the hard yards, setting things up. Vihanga Randeep. The Hamje calling for his supporters as Naveen gets one, beats two, but is brought down. St. Joseph's College still with possession. The Hamje decides to take the ball up into contact, wins the penalty as Hossein is penalized at the breakdown for not rolling away in time.
Yes, it was one of those real 50-50 calls. The player definitely hadn't rolled away, but you'd have to question whether he was impeding the oncoming players coming into the ruck. The referee decided so. So it'll be another penalty in favor of the Josephians. Interesting to see what option they will take. This is, you'd have to say, looking at that first kick, it's well within Rodrigo's range, but slight angle on this occasion. So interesting to see what call the Josephians will take from this penalty. We're just attending to the Wesley center, Korea, I think, put in a big hit. His condition. They're going through the HIA process protocols. Yes, he's deemed to be okay, so he's back on the field. He'll remain on the field rather, and Rodrigo. So it looks like they're deciding to go to touch on this occasion.
Indeed, Abdullah, I think they want to keep the momentum that they have received and continue to press the Wesley College lads. Now it'll be Chamod Seneviratna with the throw-in to the line out. Looks like St. Joseph's College is going with a full 8-man line out, with the number 1 Jehan Atukorala at number 9. But as we say that, the line out is lost as the overthrow is knocked on, and now the Wesley College lads take it up outside the 22. Number 9, Yosef gives it out to his fly half as De Silva decides to go center field and dropped cold there by Randika Dahamjaya. That's not something you see too often, as the Wesley College lads come and make their presence felt.
Yes, unforced error, if ever there was one. That was not one of the better clearance kicks. Right down the fullback's throat, but unfortunately for the Josephians, it was knocked on. So we have a scrum right on center field. And a great attacking opportunity for the Wesleyites. They've just got to get their game plan intact, isn't it, Romario? They've got to ensure that they don't get into contact too much. Try and play the game in the outer channels as much as possible. Because if they go for close contact collisions, I don't think things are going to work out in their favor.
Yes, indeed. The 15-meter channel and the 5-meter channel is what they will be eyeing. And as you said, if they go into contact, they will not stand too much of a chance. But now it's Yosef who feeds the scrum, and Nimsara breaks and sets things up just inside the Josephian half. Now Yosef gives it off to his big prop forward as he gives it out to Rodrigo from the back door. Still sets things up, but now the penalty goes in favor of Wesley College as the Josephians are penalized for the tackler not releasing in time.
Yes, I think the Josephians turned the ball over, but the referee seems to have indicated that the ruck was already formed. So the Josephians didn't have any rights to that ball there. Wesley decided to punt it into touch, just about 10 meters away from the 25-meter line.
Indeed, now it'll be Abdullah with the opportunity to throw in to the line out. Sabir Abdullah. Correction, Siddiq Abdullah. Looks like they too are going with a full 8-man line out with by the looks of it, it's the number 4 Gamage standing in the scrum half position, and no prizes for guessing what they will be trying from this position.
Yes, it'll be interesting to see whether they'll be going for a drive or whether they'll try and get the ball out wide. Yes, it's the predictable option. Interesting to see what kind of headway they'll make. It's a very solid foundation from that line out to do the driving maul, and they do make a bit of grounds, and they managed to extract the penalty. So some really good work by the Wesley forwards. Probably not the option I would have taken, but nonetheless they have got value for their money, so full credit to them. Very well executed driving maul, forcing the Josephians to infringe. Looks like they will go for touch, and we'll see more of the same.
Indeed, by the looks of it, it's more of the same what they will be looking to do. As looks like the referee has spotted a bit of claret coming off the Wesley College player's head, and I think he has been sent to get that cleaned up, as the time is switched off, and the physios are attending to things. And yes, indeed, Abdullah, as you said, looks like that wasn't the option that the onlookers would have predicted, but they somehow managed to do that and get a penalty, win a penalty. And last week as well, they brought the ball out a couple of times against St. Thomas's, but it did not yield anything much, as we see that replay. The referee penalizing the Josephians for incorrectly entering the maul. And now, again, De Silva punts it out, and looks like it's more of the same.
So just about 10 meters away from the goal line.
Sabir Abdullah with the line out. One at the front by the number 7. As here goes the Wesley College maul, and looks like it's the first try of the game, and yes it is. Well, in fact, the referee says that there was a bit of crossing there. Beg your pardon, as the penalty goes in favor of St. Joseph's College.
Yes, I just thought it was a complete drive. Let's have a look at that once again. Well, you'd have to say that was an interesting call. Just seemed one drive, Romario, but maybe something the referee saw that we didn't.
Indeed, and I think he did show that the first man had the ball, but I think he went back as the ball was transferred. Anyways, it's St. Joseph's College who won the penalty, and now Ruchida Rodrigo has punted the Josephians back towards their 10-meter line, as now St. Joseph's College with an opportunity, however, still in their own half. The line-out throw doesn't go to hand, but the attackers at the back somehow secure possession, as St. Joseph's College, well, the ball has been turned over, and it has been knocked on this time, and advantage in favor of St. Joseph's College, as Vihanga Ramdeepa puts boot to ball with a sublime cross box kick collected by the sweeper for Wesley College and returned, and Vihanga Randeepa this time, he drops it cold. Well, a bit of butterfingers coming in to the ranks of St. Joseph's College. This is not something they would have been looking for in the starting minutes of the game.
Yeah, so that's the second unforced error from a kick ahead. The Josephians just need to tidy things up a bit, even that previous line out, not meeting its mark.
Yes, indeed. I think they are just thinking of what they are going to do after they catch the ball, but they aren't fielding the ball first. First time the Josephians managed to get away. Will they be lucky the second time around? Joseph feeds the scrum as it's kept in the foot of the number 8 as he gives it to the fly half. Looks like the ball has been dropped by the Wesley fly half this time around, as St. Joseph's College have been let off and now with an opportunity for themselves.
Yes, an unforced error this time from Wesley's part. Just real mistakes that will just send coaches wild, isn't it, Romario? There was no pressure whatsoever from that scrum, but it was not the best of passes, but you'd have to expect your fly half to collect it at the very least. So good attacking opportunity for the Josephians.
Vihanga Randeepa feeds the ball in as Vishika sets it up. Now Vihanga Randeepa goes down the blind side, knocks the referee, but somehow manages to gain some good yards as the ball is taken down the blind side again by the Josephian forwards. But this time it's a penalty in favor of Wesley College as the Josephian forwards are penalized for sealing off.
Yes, a very high error count in this first 10 minutes as we have a look at that once again. Nice break on the short side. But the Wesley, or rather the Josephian supporting players not staying on their feet while going on into the ruck. So a reprieve for the Wesleyites.
Yes, indeed. And looked like a good call there by the referee as the Josephian supporters directly went off their feet. Wesley College are setting up a shortened line out as looks like by the looks of it think they are finally ready, and Abdullah throws in, this time collected by the flanker, gives it out to the number 10 as he gives it out to his center partner. This time puts his left boot to ball, but a good chase coming in by the wingers, but well secured by St. Joseph's College and now taken down the blind side. But yet again Butterfingers, and the ball is knocked on as it's now secured by Rabon for Wesley College. Now Joseph gives it out to De Silva as he puts boot to ball. The advantage goes away with the kick as the fullback for St. Joseph's College returns the favor, finds some space, and the ball goes bouncing into touch inside the 22.
Yes, it's a 50-22, isn't it? So very well calculated kick, but again Wesley. The first kick clearance was very good. The chase was on point, but the follow-up kick from that resulting ruck, which they managed to turn possession over, was very poor. And as a result, they find themselves defending on their own 22.
Yes, indeed. Well spotted there by the Josephian fullback, and looks like it was Aaron. Now Chamod hits his front man with ease as the Josephians this time around sets up the maul. Chamod with the ball at the back. Some good defense coming in, but St. Joseph's College inching forward as the referee says once. Vihanga Randeepa gives it out to his center, but this time around the bit of a backline move is cut short as the centers do not seem to be in sync as skipper Naveen Marasinghe this time knocks things on.
Yes, pretty clear what they wanted to do on that occasion. They wanted to get Marasinghe into the game, but the execution was not on point, and as a result, they have conceded possession over to Wesley. Just not sure whether they need to make it so complex, isn't it, Romario? They got a big man there. Just get the ball to him with a bit of depth while running into the ball, and I think he should be able to get them over the gain line. So overall, been a pretty scrappy first 13 minutes, isn't it? I don't think any team has found much fluency in their game so far. Nerves just don't seem to have settled down yet. I'm sure as this game goes on. Things should settle down, and the players will be a bit more settled mentally to execute their skills.
Indeed, neither team managing to assert themselves still into the game. And as you rightly said, Abdullah, they don't need to just make things too complicated. The Josephian fly half, the Hamja, needs to just make sure that Naveen is running hard and running straight and just give the ball to him. But now it's Yosef to feed the scrum for Wesley College. They don't have the option of kicking the ball out on the full, as Yosef this time gives it out to his number 12 as he puts his left boot to ball with a little bit of dink, but here goes the Josephian fly half. Beats one, goes on the opposite side, and this time again it's Naveen Marasinghe with yet another knock on.
There's another unforced error, but again Wesley probably a bit lucky. There was really no thinking behind that chip ahead. As we have a look at that again, it's a bit fortunate, you'd have to say, that Marasinghe not being able to hold on to the ball. If not, it could have been problems for the Wesleyites.
Indeed, it did seem to look as if there was an overlap, but unfortunately nothing made out of it by the Josephians, as now Wesley College through Yosef in their 50-meter line. The scrum half gives it out to the fly half, as this time he opts to go boot to ball, searching for that 50-22. Doesn't really seem to manage to get it, as now the return kick by the Josephians pin Wesley College down into their own half, and Yosef finds touch, but looks like it's a net gain for St. Joseph's College.
Yes, I'm sure they would have been happy with that, the way of the final outcome. Wesley need to be a bit careful when kicking position. If the Josephians do decide to run back at them and hold on to position, they've got the big players to get over the gain line and cause problems. So Josephians with the throw-in. Really good spoil by Wesley on that occasion. It was their number 7, Mendes, causing all sorts of problems at line-out time. Wesley taking the ball up. Done well to secure position. Again going to the boot. And it's gone out on the full. So again Wesley creating a phase, but from then on not having much option, deciding to go to the boot. So all the good work done by Mendes in that previous line out goes to waste, as the Josephians get a line out on exactly the same place on the field, just the opposite flank.
Looks like both teams will need a bit of a hairspray or a body wash to get cool themselves down, as St. Joseph's College sets things up through their big forwards, as the maul is rumbling forward, but looks like Mendes has found his way through and has got himself on the ball. Ball doesn't seem to be coming out, but looks like the ball has been turned over, and Yosef opts to go boot to ball, but the Hamje reads it well and finds himself going back, but the referee comes back for the penalty.
That was brilliant work by Mendes, the number 7. Read that play brilliantly, just came right through the middle of that maul. The Josephian bind wasn't as tight as it should have been. First of all, managed to put that opposition player on the ground, and then one of his teammates managed to come and grapple the ball and win that penalty. But again, another poor mistake, not finding touch. It looks like Wesley are going to be in a little bit of strife. That's really poor by the Wesleyites. They've actually lost ground from the place where they got the penalty as a result of not finding touch.
And conceded possession as well, Abdullah.
Yes, I'm sure that will cause a lot of frustration in their ranks. Terence Henry, the head coach, Chamra Dabare, the backs coach, will not be pleased at all from what they have just seen.
Now it'll be Chamod to throw in to the line out for St. Joseph's College. This time they go to the back as the maul is formed, and the ball looks, by the looks of it, has been transferred, but again the ball has been turned over. This time it's by the number 2 for Wesley College, Abdullah, as he brought the ball down, and the referee did not see the ball emerging as the scrum has been given in favor of Wesley College.
Yes, brilliant work by Abdullah, the hooker this time. As we have a look at that once again, the bind of the maul isn't just tight enough, isn't it, Romario? And that's just causing all sorts of problems to the Wesley 8, rather the Josephian 8, and the Wesleyites have just been very good at coming right through the middle of that maul. You know, it's just unforgivable when you form that maul. It's got to be extremely tight. It's something which they will need to go back and have a look at, because that's the second occasion that the Wesleyites have managed to spoil the driving maul.
Indeed, as Yusuf feeds the scrum for Wesley College. Gives it out to his center, Correa, as he runs hard and straight, beats one, gets the line break and gives it out to his center partner, as now Wesley College with an opportunity inside the Josephian 20 in the half. Looks like the referee has given a penalty, and Yusuf has taken it quickly, and he has found a bit of yardage, but yet again their hands are letting them down, and this time Wesley College conceding possession.
Yes, they'll probably be a bit disappointed with the final outcome, but I guess that's the way the Wesleyites need to play this game, isn't it, Romani? We're talking about the outer channels, some really slick handling by them. Fortunately, just at the final moment, going into contact, not holding on to the ball, but nonetheless, I think that's the way the Wesleyites should approach this game. Try and up the tempo as much as possible. Try and move the big Josephian forwards around.
Indeed, and as we said, on the first chance itself, they managed to make yards, as now the Hamja this time opts to go crossfield. Let bounce by the number 14 of Wesley College, as his fullback partner finds the number 11, and now he breaks the first tackle, second tackle, and he goes as Wesley College are back inside the St. Joseph's College half, as De Silva picks the ball up and sets things up. Now the big forwards, it's their time to shine. The lock forward taking it up, but a good bit of defensive work by St. Joseph's College. However, with a penalty advantage, the referee says that nothing is happening as they come back, and by the looks of it, De Silva is setting himself to go to touch.
Yes, again, the Wesley backs showing their capabilities, isn't it, Romario? On one-on-one situations, they definitely seem to have the skill and the talent to go around this Josephian defense. Like to see a bit more of that, but right on the 22, I'm sure another driving maul is coming up. Previous time they came into the Josephian half, you thought they'd gone over the line, but referee adjudicating that there was some form of obstruction from the driving maul.
Gamage from the scrum half position sets the maul up. This time better body position, but the referee says once, as looks like the ball has dropped, and yet another knock on. And that seems to have been the story of these 23 minutes, Abdullah.
Yes, another unforced error, really. Execution from both teams has been pretty disappointing, to put it mildly. Both teams have had opportunities, but just don't seem to have the composure to take that final step to put the finishing touches to their moves. 24 minutes in this first half, and it's yet 3 points to nil in favor of the Josephians.
Yes, indeed. Neither team have managed to go into their opposition 22 and come out with points, as the Josephian 3 points as well came through a penalty from about 40 meters out. Vihanga Randeepa steadying himself to feed the scrum. The scrum's now getting into double figures, I assume, as Vishika sets things up and gives it out to Randika Dahamja. He puts boot to ball, but caught by Lai, as now the Wesley number 14, De Silva, tries to go on the outside, but is brought down with a very good tackle by Iran, as yet another handling error. But now Tarusha clears the ball to his number 7 for St. Joseph's College, as now Vihanga Randeepa gives it out to his to Vishika as he sets things up. St. Joseph's College still with possession, contested at the breakdown, but the referee goes back for the advantage of the knock-on.
Yes, the Josephians, from their point of view, will be a bit frustrated that they haven't been able to get senior Marasinghe into the game much more often, isn't it, Romario? That was always going to be a danger when you put him in the backs. His involvement has been quite minimal in this half thus far. Sure, they'll need to try and create a few phases for him and bring him into the game. That was probably the plan, but it just hasn't worked out so far.
Vihanga Randeepa now feeds the scrum as it gets away. Here goes the ball to Naveen Marasinghe as he's brought down at the third time of asking. Now with the center, he hits it out to the St. Joseph's College winger, but a good tackle coming in on the Josephian win three-quarter as he's bundled into touch.
There's some really good defense by the Wesleyites. The problem there was after that first phase, Marasinghe managed to attract a few defenders and managed to get over the gain line as well. But unfortunately, the release from that breakdown was very slow, wasn't it, Romario? It gave the Wesleyites a chance to realign their defense, and they did really well to thwart that attack.
Indeed, also, Wesley College did seem to have a bit of more numbers on the open side, as this time the line out is won. Now De Silva gives it out to Correa as he puts his left boot to ball, fielded by the Josephian winger, as Randika Dahamje's kick is charged down, but thankfully for him and St. Joseph's College, the ball finds itself in touch, and the assistant referee put his arm up on the side of St. Joseph's College.
It's an interesting tactic by the Josephians, rather Wesleyites. They're sending the ball out to their centers to do the kicking, especially from the line out, and it was a really good chase as well. So Josephians managed to retain possession, but they do find themselves pegged in their half.
I think it's because he is a left-footer, Abdullah. I think that might be one reason why. St. Joseph's College secure the line out at the front through Nithik Rodrigo. This time the maul set up in better fashion as the second wave as well coming in, and St. Joseph's College gain quite the bit of meters as Vishika Fernando is with the pill at the back of it. Still the maul driving forward, this time set up. Randika Dahamje, not the best of passes, and a good tackle coming in by Correa. as Ruchita Rodrigo is bundled. Nothing happening for Vihanga Randi. Perhaps he opts to put a boot to ball with the box kick. Collected well by the Josephian chasers as a bit of mayhem in the back three of Wesley College. But yet again, the number 7 comes to save the day for Wesley College as Mendis wins the turnover on the floor. But the referee comes back for the previous infringement, which was a knock-on.
Yes, a really good base kick and a wonderful chase as well, isn't it, Romario? So putting enough pressure on the Wesley back three, forcing that error, and they managed to turn possession over. So Marasinghe is forming quite flat with his fly half, but with a lot of width. So interesting to see what they have up their sleeve.
Vihanga Randipa with a bit of a change. The number 13 has come into the number 10 position as Randika Dahamja is having a stinker of a day as he has continued to drop the ball on, but and continues to do so as Randika Dahamja has not been able to find his footing as we see the replay.
Yes, using Marasinghe as a decoy, but the Wesley three-quarter defense has been really good, isn't it? The ability to read the play has been very good. You can see that Wesley wing three-quarter just leaving his line, timing his tackle perfectly and forcing that error. So some really good defense by the Wesley lads.
Indeed, and I think with everyone expecting Naveen to receive the ball, they are using him as a decoy, but doesn't seem to be working as De Silva this time gets his center on the outside, chased well by Rodrigo and put down, but the offload is found by De Silva as he sets things up for Wesley College. Now the number 22 opts to go down the blind side as Wesley College are now inside the St. Joseph's College 22, and they win a penalty. Looked to be taken quickly, but Gamage was brought back.
That's much better by the Wesleyites. We are talking about them playing the game in the outer left flanks, and that's exactly what they have been doing over the last 5 to 10 minutes and causing all sorts of problems to this Josephian defense. And they managed to extract another penalty. Just sense that Wesleyites, when they do decide to go out wide, they have got the ability to ask a lot of questions of the Josephian defense.
Yes, indeed, their backline seems to be potent in running the ball. And the gold men's hairspray and body wash for a quick shower cleanses and cools your skin, and is available at all leading supermarkets in Sri Lanka and in Colombo and island-wide, as the Wesley College player is continuing to get some attention. Looks like it is the number 10, as he seems to be limping off after that sublime break. And indeed, it looks like a change has been requested for. Looks like Nizam in jersey number 22 also has been sent onto the field. And indeed, it seems to be as the starting scrum of Yosef has been substituted off. And now looks like the number 22 or 23, Dilhara. Well, in fact, it's Piris in the number 21 jumper, who seems to be replacing number 10.
Yes, an interesting call by the Wesleyites from that penalty. They've opted for a scrum. So they've decided that they're going to play the game in the outside flanks by the looks of it.
Nizam feeds the scrum, gives it out to the replacement player as he beats his way through a couple of tackles, but is brought down. An advantage coming for Wesley College. Now, numbers on the outside, but some good defensive work by the Josephian back line as Wesley College this time opts to keep the ball close with the big forwards. Wesley College still with the possession. Looks like Nizam is digging his way. Gives the ball out to Piris. Well, he did try to, but the referee says that there is no advantage and he goes back for the penalty. Piris takes it quickly, but the referee pulls play back yet again.
So they've opted for a scrum again. I think the Wesley Eyes have now realized that if they're going to make any progress in this game, they've got to do it through their backs, try and get away from contact as much as possible. Because whenever they've been going in the outside channels, they've definitely been asking a lot of questions from the Josephian defense.
Indeed, and now with a couple of enforced substitutions as well. Nizam feeds the ball in. Breaks, does the number 8 from the base, but is brought down, and a good turnover there at the breakdown as the Josephian fly half finds himself putting himself in the dark places and winning a turnover.
Yes, it was skipper Mara Singha. Nimsara breaking that break and finding himself isolated, and once Mara Singha gets his big paws on that ball, there is no shifting him. So again, on that occasion, it is another poor option by the Wesley Eyes, isn't it,
Yes,
Romario?
indeed. As Ruchita Rodrigo doesn't find touch. The kick is returned to, but well returned by the Wesley College fullback. But the referee says that's it for the first half, as a sloppy first half comes to an end with St. Joseph's College taking a slender lead, 3 points to nil here at Royal Complex. The game surely has not gone to plan for either side, as hands have let them down time and time again. What is your take, Abdullah?
Yes, it's been a very iffy game, Romario, isn't it? But just in those last 10 minutes of that first half, the Wesleyites showed what they could do in terms of their backs. Whenever they spread the ball out wide, they did manage to cause a lot of problems to the Josephian defense, and I'm sure that's an area of the game which they will look to exploit further in the second half. And if they can do that, I'm sure they'll be able to get a few points on the board.
Yes, indeed. They will surely have to exploit everything that is up for taking. And I'm sure they will need some Naimiris, a bit of Miris to up the ante and make sure that they manage to hold on to possession, as the Crest Naimiris sausages, the bite that bites back, and I think both teams surely need a bit of a bite and a bit of a kick up their backside.
Yes, I'm sure both coaches will be looking to give that to them in the halftime huddle. As we have a look at the highlights, not much to talk about. That penalty by Rodrigo in the first 5 minutes, giving the Josephians the lead, and that was the only score in that first half.
Quite a bit of these handling errors, of course, happened, as the Wesley backline somehow managed to make a couple of breaks, but did not manage to add the finishing touches to it.
Yeah, that's right. You can see they've got a lot of flair in their backs. Just got to find the correct moment to go out wide. Both teams are having a few chances, but just not being good enough to capitalize on them. And this was the final opportunity for Wesley. Not sure it was the correct option for Nimsara to pick up at the back of the scrum, finding himself isolated, and skipper Mara Singha just jackling that ball and winning a penalty for his team. So that's it at halftime. The Josephians leading 3 points to nil. We'll see you on the other side.
ඕනම දෙයක් කරන්න විදියක් තියෙනවා. ඒ තමයි තමන්ගේ විදිය. ජීවිතය අත්විඳින්න. ආත්ම විශ්වාසයෙන් නැගී සිටින්න. Bold ඔපම වෙන්න.
Enjoy the infinite possibilities of the freedom of space, inspired by the beauty of our land. Sri Lanka's finest finished, largest sized porcelain tile collection. Majestica. Lanka Tiles. Fine living redefined.
Hey, have you heard about Z?
ZZ. We KYC.
Easy.
Mobile banking. Crazy.
Education loans and salary advances.
Amazing. Introducing the Digital Youth Account. NDBZ. NDBZ from NDB Bank. The future is banking on us.
නව වැඩි දියුණු කළ ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් ඇක්ටිව් ක්ලිම්බසෝල් පළමු සේදීමෙන්ම ඉස්සොරි ඉවත් කරයි. හැමදාම ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් නම්
හැමදාම no problem.
ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් හිස නිදහසේ ඉදිරියට.
Manicure hot and spicy, trending fashion around navy. Rasa baby, Papare beat ke Saturday ko tumi Punjabi. Nata baby, mom, Saturday kapuna, rasa diva paheruna. Saradavi adanari ko tumi Pantama, fun update bena, hot cup pe kapmana. Saradavi adanari ko tumi Pantama.
Prima Kotumi, Fantamai.
ඕනම දෙයක් කරන්න විදියක් තියෙනවා. ඒ තමයි තමන්ගේ විදිය. ජීවිතය අත්විඳින්න. ආත්ම විශ්වාසයෙන් නැගී සිටින්න. Bold ඔපම වෙන්න.
With one more bite of rebel for sunshine.
හැමදාම ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් නම්
හැමදාම no problem.
ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් හිස නිදහසේ ඉදිරියට.
Colombo, beautiful outside and inside.
Hey, have you heard about Z?
ZZ. We KYC.
Easy.
Mobile banking. Crazy.
Education loans and salary advances.
Amazing. Introducing the Digital Youth Account. NDBZ. NDBZ from NDB Bank. The future is banking on us.
ඕනම දෙයක් කරන්න විදියක් තියෙනවා. ඒ තමයි තමන්ගේ විදිය. ජීවිතය අත්විඳින්න. ආත්ම විශ්වාසයෙන් නැගී සිටින්න. Bold ඔපම වෙන්න.
Manicure hot and spicy, cheering skirt thicker than navy. Saturday baby, kappe ate, match එක fun කරලා මලාවි. Saturday baby, හිත තාල නැත වෙනා, fun නිම වින්නුනා. Saradavi අතනාරි කොටුමි පන්දමා, fun papare play වෙනා, set එක connect වුණා. Saradavi අතනාරි කොටුමි පන්දමා.
Prima Kotumi, Fantamai.
Rebel for love.
ඕනම දෙයක් කරන්න විදියක් තියෙනවා. ඒ තමයි තමන්ගේ විදිය. ජීවිතය අත්විඳින්න. ආත්ම විශ්වාසයෙන් නැගී සිටින්න. Bold ඔපම වෙන්න.
Cheese රසට යාළුවෝ සෙට් එක ස්මයිලි බෙදනවා ඕන වෙලාවක ස්නැක් එක දැක්කම හිත ෆික්ස් වෙනවා සරද කැමති අය දවස පුරාවට සැරයිල්ලනවා කැලිප්සෝ මික්ස් එක ඕන වෙලාවක නැගලම යනවා බෝරින් ලයිෆ් එක බ්‍රේක් අප් කරගෙන සල්සා නටනවා ලුණු රටාවට අනියන් කික් එක ෆුල් හැපනින් වෙනවා අචි රටටම රස බෙදෙන මංජි රස බලකාය දැන් අලුත් වෙලා
Colombo, beautiful outside and inside.
හැමදාම ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් නම්
හැමදාම no problem.
ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් හිස නිදහසේ ඉදිරියට.
cheese රසට යාළුව සෙට් එක ස්මයිලි බෙදනවා ඕන වෙලාවක ස්නැක් එක දැක්කම හිත ෆික්ස් වෙනවා සරල කැමති අය දවස පුරාවට සැරයිල්ලනවා කැලිප්සෝ මික්ස් එක ඕන වෙලාවක නැගලම යනවා බෝරින් ලයිෆ් එක බ්‍රේක් අප් කරගෙන සල්සා නටනවා ලුණු රටාවට අනියන් කික් එක ෆුල් හැපනින් වෙනවා රටටම රස බෙදෙන මංජි රස බලකාය දැන් අලුත් වෙලා
නව වැඩි දියුණු කළ ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් ඇක්ටිව් ක්ලිම්බසෝල් පළමු සේදීමෙන්ම ඉස්සොරි ඉවත් කරයි. හැමදාම ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් නම්
හැමදාම no problem.
ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් හිස නිදහසේ ඉදිරියට.
Colombo, beautiful outside and inside.
The time has come, once again, for the Warriors to battle in pursuit of supremacy. Dialog Schools Rugby League. The battle for supremacy starts in June.
Hello and welcome back to the Royal Complex. As we are moments away from the second half, I'm sure both teams will be looking to forget that the first half and how it went as they line up for this second half, the crucial second half, Abdullah.
Yeah, that's right. I'm sure both coaching teams would have had a lot of instructions given to their players. By their own standards, I'm sure they would have been very disappointed with that first half. Though the Wesleyites in the last 10 minutes of that first half showing what they are capable of in terms of their three quarters as the Josephians recommence proceedings, a nice hanging kick.
Collected by the Wesley College lads, but straight away looks like a penalty has been conceded. Yes, indeed it has, as St. Joseph's College now with an opportunity early on in the second half.
Yes, just the start that the Josephians would have wanted. Looks like they'll be going to the corner.
Touch found by Rodrigo, as now St. Joseph's College, if I've not mistaken, I think it's the third or fourth occasion they are going into the opposition 22. And I'm sure they'll be looking to come away with some points.
Yes, one thing that will no doubt frustrate the Josephians no end is the inability to get Marasinghe into the game, isn't it, Romario? As the ball goes in and they'll set up the maul, but it's a crooked throw, so more frustration for the Josephians.
Indeed, more frustration for the onlookers as well, as nothing seems to be going is what the call is. And now a scrum for Wesley College inside their 22-meter line. Nizam steadying himself to feed the scrum. Gets it in and gives it out. Looks like it's Korea. Bumps off the first man but the tackle is completed by Dahamja as Wesley College now keeping the ball close, setting a base for the back line to clear it as Piris puts boot to ball. Yet again fumbled by the Josephian back line, but the pass by Rodrigo too has been knocked on cold and not released at the breakdown.
Yes, a comedy of errors, you'd have to say, isn't it, Romario? Poor positioning by the Josephian back three, just putting themselves under all sorts of pressure. As we have a look at the replay of that, knocking the ball on, and then Wesley doing very well to continue to put pressure and winning that penalty. So from being under the pump at the start of the second half, Wesley now find themselves in the Josephian half, so they've just got to make it count, isn't it? It'll be interesting to see what tactic they will use. Will they try and create a phase? Will they go for the driving maul? They have opted for a short line out, a 5-man line out.
Abdullah throws it in to the front, not collected cleanly, but they somehow secure things as Nizam finds himself in the ruck as the number 6 gives it out to Piris, but now the number 13 finds himself and gets an offload. Correa with one man to beat, bumps him off, cuts back inside. Now with some good front football is Wesley College. Nizam barking instructions, but the ball is carried by his forwards, taken up meter by meter. Now Nizam from the scrum half position directs his forwards to continue to keep it close. Barking instructions at the forwards as now the big prop forward tries to gain some meters but is brought down. However, Wesley College with an advantage. The big prop forward Mushin does not manage to get too much of yards as Nizam gives it out to Piris. He finds Correa now with a man on the outside, puts a fend in a way, and here goes the number 11 for Wesley College.
But it's a forward pass being spotted by referee Shankar. So they'll come back for the penalty.
Yes, indeed, and looks like the touch judge is giving instructions, and he has instructed that there seem to have been a high tackle. Now Piris finds them.
So it's an interesting call. In the latter part of that first half, they had a couple of penalties in the 22, but on those occasions, Wesley decided to go for the scrum. But here they decided to go for the line out. So it's just 5 meters away. So first things first, Wesley have to ensure that they win the line out.
I think they must be hoping for a change in fortune, but as we say that, the line out is scrappy. Secured on their side does Wesley. Now the big forwards trying to make headway, keeping the ball close. Not managing to gain too many meters as the St. Joseph's College defense is holding on. Now Nizam gives it out to Piris. He uses Correa as a decoy as the number 13. Beats 1, beats 2. Still on his feet, but now he's brought down. Incorrect entry and an advantage coming in for Wesley College as their forwards take it through to Abdullah. Now they go on the blind side, men on the outside. Here is the number 13, but he's brought down this time with a good tackle. Wesley College still with possession. Nizam gives it out to his big forward on the wing, but this time is bundled out into touch. But the referee goes back for the advantage as he blows for time to be switched off.
Yes, repeated infringements in the 22, so I'm sure the referee will have a word with the Josephians. They could very well be on their final warning. Yes, he's calling up the Josephian skipper, Marasinghe, to have a word with him. Probably the next infringement could see a Josephian player visiting the sin bin.
Indeed, the referee just telling Mara Singh that he needs to work on the discipline of the boys. As one Wesley College player, looks like it's the number 13. Indeed, it is the number 13. He has been crucial and has made a couple of breaks for Wesley. But I think at the last breakdown, he did seem to just find himself running in to a couple of Josephians. And doesn't seem to be on the correct side.
It's also interesting to see where this penalty will be given, isn't it, Romario? If it's from a kickable range, should Wesley go for the points? Or should they just try and launch another attack since they have the Josephian defense under the pump? Points on the board, crucial, isn't it, as well? They yet got to keep in mind that they're trailing 3 points to nil.
And this time looks like they opt for a scrum, Abdullah.
Yes, so it looks like we'll have one of the sweeping three-quarter moves. The other problem the Josephians have is in defense. Mara Singh has been moved into the fly half position. And whenever the Wesleyites have run at him, unless they run at his body, which they are not going to do, he has been found flat-footed on a couple of occasions.
Yes, now Nizam gives it out to Piris. He uses a cutback as Correa runs in straight, sets things up. Wesley College still with possession and now with an advantage coming their way. The Wesley College forwards continue to keep the ball up close as the big prop forward runs in hard. Does not manage to gain too much of meters as now Nizam gives it out on a standing start. Nizam finding for quick ball, gives it out to the number 13 as he beats a couple. Rodrigo this time, but is brought down. Not too much of space to work with. But here comes Wesley, pumping their legs. Getting a bit of headway forward. Now the big forwards continuing to keep the ball. Number 4 this time, Gamage. Now Nizam gives it out to his backline, but the ball has been knocked on, and now the referee looks like he is going to his pocket. Continuous infringements sees the Josephian number 14. Correction, the number 18. The Josephian number 18 finds himself in the bin. That seems to be like it's Sandesh Induvara. The big prop forward has been given his marching orders. And now the scrum will be brought down to 7 aside as well, in fact, looks like the Josephians will need to bring on a trained front rower. But I think they did have Ishan D'Souza, the number 3 who played last week at prop position in the starting lineup. So he will move up into prop position as Nizam feeds a 7-man scrum. Now gives it out to Piris. He runs in straight and hard this time, but is caught and bundled back by Naveen and Co. as Wesley College have to restart. Restarting about 10 meters away from the try line as yet another good tackle comes in by Naveen. The Wesley forwards continuing to be bundled back as Nizam gives it out to now Correa. This time Rodrigo unfortunately does not manage to give a soft pass to Correa as he drops it cold, and the pattern continues here at the Royal Complex.
Yes, they had the line staring right in their face. After all that hard work, a reprieve for the Josephians. Wesleyites will be really disappointed. Again, you have to question, Romario, should they have gone for the points? Hindsight is a wonderful thing, but they're yet trailing 3 points to nil. Points on the board could prove crucial in the final analysis. Can understand the temptation. Josephians down by one player as well, but points on the board. It's what matters at the end of the day.
Yes, indeed. But Wesley College still with nothing to their name. Vihanga Randeepa feeds and the ball comes straight out of the scrum. Navin Marasinghe with a thumping handoff. Beats a couple but is brought down. Now men on the outside. Here goes the Hamjir. But yet again, another handling error. But yes, indeed, this time by the Josephians. And the pattern continues.
Yes, it's just leading to a lot of frustration in the Josephian ranks, isn't it, Romario? These kind of unforced errors. On that occasion, Marasinghe taking more than a couple of players in with him, resulting in an overlap. The ball just needed to be shifted across, and the Josephians could have found themselves under the post on the opposite end of the field, but that was not to be. And as a result, it's going to be another scrum for the Wesleyites.
Yet again, this time it was Senitu Eran, the culprit for St. Joseph's College. Now Nizam feeds the scrum. 7-man scrum. Rodrigo gives it out to his center partner as yet again the ball is knocked on, but now with a bit of a break by the Josephian winger. But this time St. Joseph's College find themselves going into touch.
Yes, an opportunity for a counter-attack. But again, the ball just not sticking, resulting in another unforced error.
Looks like no player is able to hold the ball. Does it seem to be that the ball does not have a grip? Or is it just that the players are having an off day?
So line out for Wesley. Abdullah to throw the ball in. Finds his mark. It's a well set up maul. The Wesleyites trying to make some headway. And now they do, slowly but surely. The ball has come out, but it's been decided as a knock-on. So I'm not quite sure whether that's the correct call by the Wesleyites, Romar, isn't it? They have had a bit of success when they have decided to go out wide. Not sure they want to get into that confrontation kind of game that the Josephians will be comfortable in.
I think the handling errors and the unforced errors are seeming to be frustrating both teams, and now they are just going to all sorts of different options, finding for an answer.
It also seems that the Josephians have made a tactical switch in where they have sent Marasinghe into the scrum. He's binding on that right-hand flank.
Yes, indeed, and looks like it's Ivano White who has come into the back line. Now Rodrigo, this time puts a high thump in up and under. Not collected, but the referee goes back for offside, says that the couple of defenders attackers were in front of the kicker, and now from in front, Wesley College win a penalty.
Yes, I think they need to seriously consider going to the post, get some points on the board. They're looking at the touch on the side, the bench for some instructions, but looks like orders have been to go to the touch line instead of to the post.
Yes, and touch found by Pires. Meters inside the St. Joseph's College 22. I think Coach Nilfa Ibrahim has gone to the change by putting Navin Marasinghe into the pack. Through a bit of desperation, it looks like, as nothing seemed to be working. And now he has gone for the last option. 8-man line out as Abdullah throws in, finds a Josephian in the way as Chamod gives it out to Rodrigo. He puts a boot to ball. Everyone seems to be in front of the kicker yet again. But this time the ball seemed to find its way into touch.
Yes, so that decision to go to touch just hasn't worked in favor of Wesley. Now they've got a couple of opportunities where they could have gone to the post, but decided not to. Let's hope for their sake that they wouldn't rue those decisions at the end of the game.
Yes, indeed. Quite the number of penalties, quite the number of opportunities, all squandered, not just by Wesley but by both sides. This time around, the line out is won. And now, Nizam gives it out to Piris. This time Correa puts his left foot to ball. The winger did have an opportunity, but unfortunately the ball just beat him and beat everyone into touch.
Yes, it's a tactic that the Wesleyites have used quite often in this game. Using the big left foot boot of Correa to good effect. There was an opportunity for the Wesley wing to collect that ball because there was no Josephian in sight, but was unable to do so.
Now Chamod for St. Joseph's College finds number 20, Janit Marasinghe. Now Naveen runs from the base, takes a couple of men to bring him down. Now Vihanga Randipa gives it out to Rodrigo. He puts boot to ball straight down the center. The fullback for Wesley College makes a bit of a hash of it, but somehow manages to find touch and finds a good touch and takes play into the opposition half.
So none of these teams have managed to find any form of fluency in this game, isn't it, Romario? It's been a very stop-start encounter. The scoreboard definitely reflects that as well.
Stop-start seems to be an understatement, Abdullah, as this game has not taken off. This time around, the line-out is won by Naveen, skipper Naveen Marasinghe, as now Vihanga Randipa gives it out to Rodrigo, who has shifted himself into the number 10 position, as here goes the St. Joseph's College fly half. Randiga Dahamjaya. Now Jehan Atukorala puts his head down, runs straight. Vihanga Randipa gives it out to Chamod Seneviratna as he runs straight. Numbers on the outside. But the pass doesn't find its way by the number 6, Vishiga Fernando. I think he should have just held on to it.
Yes, I think that ball needed to go out wide much earlier, Romario, because there was a massive overlap on this left-hand flank for the Josephians. Decided to go into one more breakdown, and by that time the Wesley defense had realigned. The good news for Josephians is that they will have their full complement of players back. So it's 15 on 15. The Wesleyites will be a bit disappointed that they couldn't capitalize on that advantage. As we have a look at that forward pass. As you very correctly said, Romario, needed to hold on to the ball, not force the issue on that occasion.
Now Nizam. St. Joseph's College penalized for shoving early.
So they've opted for a scrum again. The Wesley backs have looked threatening whenever they have decided to run straight and hard, drawing the defense in and then creating some space out wide. They have got another opportunity. It's on the halfway mark, but it's a lot of open spaces on that the left-hand flank.
Nizam feeds the scrum. Nimzara locks the ball as Piris gets it. Now Correa on the outside, numbers on the outside. This time it's the winger. He gives it out to his fullback, but a good sweeping tackle and the ball is dislodged, but an advantage for Wesley College as their big number 5 Anas takes it and runs straight. Holding on at the breakdown, but the referee goes back for the advantage. Says that there was no advantage from the high tackle.
Yes, again, the Wesleyites, when executing their ploys well, they are very hard to stop. They had massive overlap on that occasion, but some desperate cover defense by the Josephians, just nullifying that attack. Eventually, a high tackle resulting in a penalty, which the Wesleyites have decided to go to the corner once again. They managed to get a line out inside the Josephian 22.
And now looks like it's a short man line out. And now it's just about throwing the ball wide for Wesley College. Abdullah finds his number 6, but the play is brought down illegally. This time it's the number 3, Ishan D'Souza for St. Joseph's College, who is the guilty party.
Yes, he could find himself in a lot of trouble here. That was very dangerous. The player was in the air. So we have a look at that once again. Yes, it was pretty innocuous. I think fortunately the impact was not on the head, otherwise it could have been a lot of trouble. But nonetheless, the Josephians could find themselves down to 14 players once again.
Yes, indeed, as we see that replay. Thankfully for... Looks like it was the number 3 for St. Joseph's, Ishan D'Souza, was the man who just crashed through the man, crashed through the number 8 of Wesley College, in fact, Nimsara.
So we'll have a look at that once again. Wesley missing their initial target, but Nimsara, good presence of mind to contest and eventually winning that penalty because he was made contact with while in there. So the Josephians will again find themselves down to 14 players. Wesleyites deciding to go to the corner once again. So it will be a line out about 7 meters away from the try line. The Josephians are living very dangerously, isn't it, Romario? Very slender 3-point lead, but just about 5 to 10 minutes before half time, and in this second half, the Wesleyites have definitely upped their game.
Line out Mall caught at the front, but yet again, Butterfingers, another handling error, continues to pile, this time for Wesley College, as the ball is turned over.
Yeah, Wesley just need to keep things as simple as possible, especially when you have that one-man advantage. Don't need to try anything too fancy.
In fact, it's the number 2 for St. Joseph's College who has been sent to the bin, Chamod Seneviratna. And now again it's scrums down to 7 men as Vihanga Randeepa feeds the scrum. Scrum is shoved back by Wesley College, but they somehow manage to hold on to it as Randika Dahamjaya puts boots to ball, but does not manage to gain any yards as Wesley College still hot on attack. About 8 to 12 meters out from the St. Joseph's College try line.
It's just executing the simple skills well. It's what's going to prove decisive for the Wesleyites.
Abdullah throws, finds the number 7 at the front of the maul. Maul is brought down illegally. An advantage on his back, and now Piris throws a bit of a dummy but is caught as Wesley College set things up. Here goes the big forwards. Looks like the advantage is continuing as Wesley College and their forwards continue to rumble forward, gaining meter by meter, yard by yard. Now Nizam gives it out to the big forwards, this time around from a standing start. Now from the base goes Mushin. He makes a couple of meters. Still Wesley College with the ball and gaining meter by meter. The St. Joseph defense still continue to hold as Nizam now gives it out to Piris. He throws a cutout pass as the winger somehow is brought down with a desperate tackle by the Josephians. Still advantage and possession with Wesley College. Nizam tried to wriggle his way through but brought down. Here goes Mushin again. Tries to rumble himself forward but is brought down with a good tackle. Now the big number 6, Hossein. No advantage. The referee blows for time to be called off.
Yes, and it's a real trouble for St. Joseph's, infringing again, and they'll now find themselves down to 13 players. Just sense that there will be a temptation to run the ball again, but will they go for the post? Looks like they're decided on a scrum. So it's 13 on 15, 2-player advantage. Will the Wesleyites be able to eventually capitalize?
I think this is a prime opportunity, and in prime real estate are Wesley. Just about 7 to 9 meters out from the St. Joseph's College try line. Nizam seems to be barking out instructions to his back line as a 7-man scrum. Well, in fact, this time now it's a scrum down to 6, Abdullah, as 2 St. Joseph's College forwards are in the bin. Now Nimsara sets it up, gives it out to Correa. He steps inside but is caught. Wesley College still with possession. Now the big forwards making their way forward, making good headway. Now Nizam gives it out, men on the outside. Here goes Rodrigo, but is brought down this time, does not manage to make that all-important line break. Now the big forwards take it through, but some good defense coming in as the St. Joseph's College continue to hold, but Nimsara manages to gain some yards. This time around, the big forward is brought down by the St. Joseph's College number 4 as Wesley make yard by yard, goes forward. Now an opportunity, but is well brought down by the St. Joseph's College defense, but still Wesley College with possession opts to go on the other side, on the opposite side. Nizam with numbers on the outside, gives it to Piris. He has a man but is brought down well by a good tackle by St. Joseph's College, but Piris somehow manages to pounce on the loose ball. Wesley College with wave after wave. Here goes the big forward for Wesley College, but St. Joseph's College still holding on. Nizam looks to go wide but barks instructions as the forwards carry it on. Some good defense continuing to come through by St. Joseph's College, but Wesley College are just a couple of meters out. Is this the try? No, just a couple of meters still out as an advantage is coming in for Wesley College. but the ball has been knocked on as the referee goes back for the penalty advantage. Now Nizam takes it quickly, gives it to Nimsara as he flings himself. So does Rodrigo from St. Joseph's College. Nizam looks like he is opting to go on the blind side, but tells the forwards to carry it on. Now, with men on the outside, here is Rodrigo. Beats one, beats two, but Randika Dahamjaya somehow gets up and makes the tackle for St. Joseph's College. Now Nizam. Men on the outside for Wesley College, but a good thumping tackle coming in as the ball is knocked on. And St. Joseph's College somehow managed to hold on with 13 men.
Yes, some really good desperate defense by the Josephians. But again, you have to question the Wesley's wisdom in not taking those 3 points, isn't it, Romario? They've been launching attack after attack, but still have nothing to show for it. And not taking the points. You're 3 points to nil down, just 10 minutes remaining in the game. Could those decisions prove costly at the end of the day?
Yes, indeed. Now it's just about getting out of jail for St. Joseph's College. Vihanga Randeepa feeds the ball. The scrum is shoved, but Nizam seems to be coming offside. Randika Dahamjaya puts boot to ball, finds some good meters as the Wesley College defenders let the ball bounce. Now Lai from fullback runs in, but is hammered in defense as the defenders are cramping up for St. Joseph's College, but the forwards somehow make their way. Now Nizam goes digging in. This time opts to boot it from the base. Vihanga Randeepa collects it, puts on some footwork, runs down the blind side. Meant to beat, but a good tackle coming in as Vihanga Randeepa is bundled into touch.
Yes, some really good footwork. It's an area of the ground the Josephians will want to play their rugby for the rest of this game. As we have a look at that wonderful bit of footwork. Some desperate defense by the Wesleyites.
Scrum off on that occasion, Abdullah.
Yes, just wonder whether the Wesleyites have just thrown their final punch of the game. They were camped in the Josephian 22 for almost 12 minutes or so, Romario, but have absolutely nothing to show for it. And at the end of this game, will they rue not taking those 3 points when they were on offer on more than a couple of occasions?
Yes, indeed. As the Josephian chant begins, Abdullah line up to throw into the line out. A shortened line out for Wesley College. Won by the number 6, but the referee says the throw is not straight, and now possession turned over.
Yes, you just sense a change of tide going Josephians' way.
And now it's about capitalizing for St. Joseph's College as Vihanga Randeepa barks instructions from the number 9 position to his forwards. Unfortunately for Hossein, the throw did not come in straight to the line out.
Yes, you've got to keep in mind that the Josephians yet are down to 13 players. Oh, it's down to 14. I think one of the players who was sin bin has come back onto the field.
And now Vihanga Randeepa feeds the scrum. The ball is caught at the back. Clears it out. Here goes Naveen Marasinga. Runs in straight and hard over a couple of defenders. Vihangarandeep now gives it out to Ivano White. He gives it out to his fullback. Numbers on the outside with an opportunity, but some good defense coming in as St. Joseph's College continue to hold on to possession. This time through Rodrigo, he sets it up through his forwards. Now Ivano White barks instructions from the number 9 position as Naveen Marasinghe finds himself in scrum half as he gains a couple of yards. Vihangarandeep calling his forwards, telling them what to do. St. Joseph's College now with an opportunity. Still keeping the ball up close with the big forwards running straight and hard. Tried a bit of a maul to set it up, but makes a hash out of it, does St. Joseph's College. And now a penalty the way of Wesley College.
Yes, penalized for not supporting their body weight at the ruck. So a bit of fortune for Wesley as you approach the final 5 minutes of this game. A chance to get back in the Josephian half.
Touch well found there by Piris on that occasion. Now from attack, they need to change their mindset back into defense, does St. Joseph's College. Still, however, defending with 14 men. Still an opportunity for Wesley College. Abdullah hits the line out but does not manage to find the position as Chamod for St. Joseph's College recovers it from the tail. Here goes Naveen Marasinghe, but is brought down straight away. Vihangarandeep barking instructions as Jehan Atukorala picks from the base and makes a couple of meters. Now, looks like not too sure what Vihangarandeep did on that occasion, but he did seem to kick the ball out to touch, expecting the full-time whistle.
Could that lack of judgment prove crucial? Bit of a communication breakdown by Vihanga.
Well, on our clock, it seems to show that there is a little bit over 4 minutes. But Chamod, correction, the line out is won. And Vihangarandeep for St. Joseph's College secures things up as the referee blows for full time. In fact, just a couple of minutes was left on the clock as St. Joseph's College somehow managed to secure a scrappy 3-point win. The fans rush on to the field, but this doesn't seem to be the way they would have been hoping that this game would have gone. As somehow St. Joseph's College hang on for a slender 3-point win. Slender of margins, closest of margins for St. Joseph's College.
Yes, and when the Wesleyites look back at this game, Romario, I'm sure they will regret not taking a couple of penalties when they had the opportunity. When you have the opportunity to take points, you've got to take them and get some points on the board. They didn't do that. 3-0 was the final score. Wesleyites definitely will be pretty disappointed in the final effort.
Yes, indeed, they will be kicking themselves as sure neither team's discussion at halftime after some 9 minutes sausages did not come through as the scores remain same. Keels crest 9 minutes sausages, the bite that bites back, but this game did not have any bite whatsoever. The full-time score reads 3-0 in favor of St. Joseph's College as they secure a win with the slender of margins. Well, not the best of games, but however, St. Joseph's College prevail. Does not manage to win with a bonus point, but manages to just get a slender 3-point win. And we are tasked with the most difficult task of finding the man of the match for this game. And well, a game with errors plentiful. I think Ruchita Rodrigo is the NDB player of the match for just punting over 3 points for St. Joseph's College. Not the best of games to win a man of the match award. However, St. Joseph's College managed to secure the game through a single penalty. As tomorrow we have Vidyartha College taking on Trinity College at Bogambara, 4 p.m. onwards, live on www.thepapare.com. And next week, the action continues as St. Joseph's College, of course, will have to improve leaps and bounds if they are to trouble Isipatana. St. Thomas's host Kingswood, Royal host Vidyartha, Zaira take on Science College, and Dharmaraja host St. Peter's College at Bogambara, and finally it'll be Wesley College taking on DS Sena Nayaka at London Place CRNFC.
So this is the highlights of the second half. The Wesleyites had plenty of opportunities. The Josephians at one stage of the game were down to 13 players as well. The three quarters did show a lot of enterprise, but just at those crucial moments, spilling the ball. A rare counter-attack by the Josephians, but again the ball spilled. Pretty much the story of this second half, and that was the first yellow card of the second half. But the Wesleyites just not being able to capitalize on it. And one of those rare breaks of the game. Again, a crooked throw by the Wesleyites. So that was how the game panned out. The Wesleyites going down 0 points to 3, but they definitely had their opportunities. The Josephians will count themselves extremely lucky to have come out with that game with a victory. So that's it from the Royal College Sports Complex. Till we see you again next week. This from Romario and myself and the Papare crew. Take care and have a good evening.
ඕනම දෙයක් කරන්න විදියක් තියෙනවා. ඒ තමයි තමන්ගේ විදිය. ජීවිතය අත්විඳින්න ආත්ම විශ්වාසයෙන් නැගී සිටින්න. බෝල්ඩ් ඔපම වෙන්න.
Colombo, beautiful outside and inside.
Hey, have you heard about Z?
ZZ. We KYC.
Easy.
Mobile banking. Crazy.
Education loans and salary advances.
Amazing. Introducing the Digital Youth Account. NDBZ. NDBZ from NDB Bank. The future is banking on us.
මේ ජොබ් එක අදම කරන්න ඕනේ. අදම? No problem.
ඕගොල්ලොත් එන්නේ ඉවෙන්ට් එකට. ඩ්‍රෙස් කෝඩ් එක black.
Black? No problem.
නව වැඩි දියුණු කළ ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් ඇක්ටිව් ක්ලිම්බසෝල් පළමු සේදීමෙන්ම ඉස්සොරි ඉවත් කරයි. ස්වභාවික සාරයන් හිස පෝෂණය කරයි.
නටමුද?
No problem.
හැමදාම ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් නම්
හැමදාම no problem.
ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් හිස නිදහසේ ඉදිරියට.
Colombo, beautiful outside and inside.
ඕනම දෙයක් කරන්න විදියක් තියෙනවා. ඒ තමයි තමන්ගේ විදිය. ජීවිතය අත්විඳින්න ආත්ම විශ්වාසයෙන් නැගී සිටින්න. බෝල්ඩ් ඔපම වෙන්න.
හිත තාලනට වෙන වන්නිනම වින්නුනා සරදාවී අතනාරි කොක්තුමි පම්තමා කොක්තුමි පම්තමා ප්‍රීමා කොක්තුමි පම්තමයි.
Enjoy the infinite possibilities of the freedom of space, inspired by the beauty of our land. Sri Lanka's finest finished, largest sized porcelain tile collection. Majestica. Lanka Tiles. Fine living redefined.
Cheese රසට යාළුව සෙට් එක ස්මයිලි බෙදනවා ඕන වෙලාවක ස්නැක් එක දැක්කම හිත ෆික්ස් වෙනවා සරද කැමති අය දවස පුරාවට සැරයිල්ලනවා කැලිප්සු මික්ස් එක ඕන වෙලාවක නැගලම යනවා බෝරින් ලයිෆ් එක බ්‍රේක් අප් කරගෙන සල්ස නටනවා ලුණු රටාවට අනියන් කික් එක ෆුල් හැපනින් වෙනවා අචි රටටම රස බෙදෙන මංජි රස බලකාය දැන් අලුත් වෙලා
හිත තාලනට වෙන වන්නිනම වින්නුනා සරදාවී අතනාරි කොක්තුමි පම්තමා කොක්තුමි පම්තමා ප්‍රීමා කොක්තුමි පම්තමයි.
Your embrace so warm with one more bite of Revelo for sunshine. Don't wanna miss this pouring rain, pleasing my soul with one more bite of Revelo for the rain. This freedom takes me roads that I have never been. With one more bite of Revelo for the road. Love never felt this good. With one more bite of Revelo for love.
Hey, have you heard about Z?
ZZ. WeKYC.
Easy.
Mobile banking. Crazy.
Education loans and salary advances.
Amazing. Introducing the Digital Youth Account. NDBZ. NDBZ from NDB Bank. The future is banking on us.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. They sing on a sleepless night. Try to catch me howling at the moon.